This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 15th day of April in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Now here's what we're tracking tonight. As the fuel supply in the country appears to have stabilized following some panic over a shortage, President Irfan Ali today warned that the ongoing US-Iran conflict will have far-reaching implications for countries like Guyana. In a video recording released on his social media pages, President Ali explained that with the Strait of Hormuz still closed, effectively disrupting the flow of approximately 21% of global oil supplies, prices on the global market have skyrocketed, and the impact will be long-lasting.
The implications of the ongoing war in Iran is far-reaching. The consequences of this war is not only the immediate impact, but a long-term impact of rebuilding, the disruption in global supply chain, the destruction of important and critical global infrastructure that would enable price stability, whether it's refined products and all products associated with gas, petrochemicals, including, of course, fertilizer, glass, mineral, everything that is linked to the energy ecosystem.
The war has resulted in the largest disruption in the history of the global supply system, resulting in a global energy crisis, the president said, as he cited a report from the International Energy Agency. Already, countries like Guyana are experiencing a shortage of fuel. The opposition in Guyana has criticized the government's management of the domestic fuel supply, but President Ali pushed back today against that criticism. Urging his fellow policymakers to get serious, President Ali explained that the supply chain shocks are now causing severe disruptions to all nations dependent on imported gas, fuel, fertilizer, and refined products.
So our policy makers must understand this. They must understand the implications of this and stop monkeying themselves around as if we are operating in a normative environment. These are the realities the world is operating in.
And pointing to an assessment done by the World Food Programme, President Ali said it is estimated that the conflict will push 45 million additional people into acute hunger by mid-year, potentially reaching record levels of global hunger. The price of fertilizer, he added, has increased by approximately 46%, a situation that would undoubtedly lend to an increase in food prices.
Secondly, what is happening to fertilizer prices? Between February and March 2026, urea prices surged by nearly 46% month on month. Understand this. It's 46% month on month, with higher prices expected to play out in the months ahead. This is the reality. This is what farmers, the food ecosystem, and governments will be faced with. Because of demand and supply, just because of what is happening on the supply side as a result of the challenges on the Hormuz Strait.
He also said due to its dependence on imported fuel for power, Latin America and the Caribbean are highly vulnerable, and the impact will be massive, not only in the energy sector, but in agriculture, aviation, construction, and tourism.
It's expected that this region will face a massive impact. Already, we are seeing the aviation sector adding a fuel surcharge. That will affect tourism. In turn, that will affect all of the countries dependent on tourism. Increase in the cost for fertilizer, increase in the cost for shipping. Most of our products, whether it be food or imports, construction material, All of that will be impacted as a result of what is happening.
Noting that it is not a simplistic social media post, the president said Guyana will have to navigate these difficult circumstances. According to him, it calls for critical thinking, a shift in policy, consistent dialogue and discussions to minimize the impact and disruption. He said it is important to establish measures that will help to safeguard the country's ecosystem and minimize the impact on the Guyanese people. Already, the Aircraft Owners Association has indicated that airfares will increase as a result of increases in aviation fuel. Some gas prices have also seen increases. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Deck the halls with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Right now, in Guyana, the future is being built and it starts in the classroom. ExxonMobil Guyana is investing $100 million over the next 10 years to expand STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, giving more young Guyanese the tools to succeed in a rapidly growing economy. With the establishment of the first National STEM Center at the University of Guyana, the $100 million initiative is expected to enhance the nation's education system. The impact is clear. Modern classrooms, empowered educators, and a generation of problem solvers ready to lead Guyana forward. Since oil production started offshore, oil and gas companies have been investing in the long-term development of Guyana. To learn more about how the energy sector is helping build Guyana's future, visit www.oilnow.gy for updates.
London, are you ready? This town week, we'll turn the heat all the way up. On Saturday, May 2nd, the ultimate experience. Team Rodney's Regional All Black. Dark Night at the Retrieve Ground Mackenzie. Performing live, straight out of Jamaica. 450. And turning up the stage, Jamal. Plus, special guest performance from Lyndon's very own, One Dan. Hosted by the unstoppable Gully Rez. Music powered by an all-star DJ lineup. Tickets are moving fast. Early bird general $5,000. Stage front VIP $15,000. Elevated all-inclusive VIP $35,000. Grab yours now in Georgetown at HJ Box Office, Fireside Suite, and Freddy's Stop Rock Market in London at Rodney's Court. Word Access Top-Up Shop at Hexton Online and Tropical Reflections. Team Rodney, Regional All Black. It's not just a party, it's an experience.
Well, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, recorded significant operational successes during the first quarter of this year. seizing a total of 818 pounds of narcotics, while disrupting trafficking networks across multiple regions. The unit has also found that the East Berbice quarantine area is the main drug trafficking hotspot in Guyana. In a report, CANU explained that a total of 26 drug seizures were conducted, resulting in 37 arrests, 30 charges, and 18 court cases in the first quarter of the year. Additionally, CANU said cocaine remains the primary high-value drug, with 244 pounds seized, reinforcing Guyana's role as a key transit point for international drug trafficking. Meanwhile, CANU also said cannabis accounted for the largest volume of drug seizures, with major seizures linked to local cultivation networks. The report said Region 6 East Berbice quarantine emerged as the main trafficking hotspot based on the quantity of narcotics seized, which was primarily cannabis, followed by Regions 2 and 4, highlighting established corridors and distribution hubs. CANU said operations also led to the seizure of 4 firearms and 166 rounds of ammunition, underscoring the link between drug trafficking and violent crime. The estimated street value of the drugs seized locally so far for the year exceeds 190 million Guyana dollars, with the international value surpassing 1.2 billion Guyana dollars. CANU said it has strengthened its international cooperation and policy engagement, integrating Guyana into a more connected global drug control framework. The unit also said it has advanced a more coordinated and evidence-based approach through enhanced intelligence sharing, strategic partnerships, and participation in regional and international initiatives. Those efforts, it was noted, reflect a shift toward proactive, intelligence-led drug control, improving the country's ability to anticipate and respond to emerging threats. CANU said it also strengthened its early warning systems, issuing alerts on emerging threats, including MDMA ecstasy circulation and the illegal THC vape products, particularly those targeting the youth market. The drug enforcement body noted that over 2,400 individuals were reached through school and community outreach programs, reinforcing prevention efforts alongside enforcement. CANU said it remains firmly committed to strengthening regional and international partnerships to disrupt and dismantle narcotics trafficking networks. Tonight, the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority is continuing its investigations into that latest incident, which took place last evening at the Eugene F. Correa Airport at Ogle, and which involved an aircraft. A Beechcraft 1900 aircraft belonging to Trans-Guyana Airways ended up off the runway at the Eugene F. Correa Airport last evening after hitting a capybara, which had breached the runway. The aircraft had just landed after completing a flight from Suriname. There are reports that there might have been a herd of the wild animal that was on the runway at the time. In a statement, the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority confirmed the incident, which has been officially described as a runway excursion. The Civil Aviation Authority said the aircraft, bearing registration number 8RGAQ, was completing an inbound flight from Suriname to Guyana when it departed the runway surface upon landing. There were 14 persons on board at the time of the incident, but there were no injuries reported. However, the nose gear of the aircraft was damaged. The Civil Aviation Authority said its preliminary investigations suggest that the incident was caused by wildlife breaching the runway during landing. The civil aviation body said it has immediately launched a formal investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident in accordance with the established civil aviation safety protocols.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. If you have moved to a new address since you were registered, you are required to update your address by applying for a transfer to ensure your address is accurate. Where to apply for a transfer? Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to apply for a transfer. When to apply for a transfer? You can apply to have your address updated during this national registration exercise. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. The office hours for GCOM are Permanent registration offices open Monday to Thursdays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 16 hours 30, and on Fridays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Deck the halls with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washi me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
This Mother's Day, treat those special ladies to something extra special. Father Moe and Determined Family Enterprise presents RWB, Roses, Wine and Brunch. Join us on Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac, East Coast, Demerara. Gates open from 3 p.m. for an unforgettable afternoon of great food, fine wine, and amazing vibes. Enjoy entertainment by Super Ray, DJ Aquilo, Father Moe, Gully Ras, Papa, and Mikey Spice. Plus, over $600,000 in giveaways. Early bird admission just $4,000, or go elevated VIP for $12,000. RWB, Roses, Wine, and Brunch. Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac. Celebrate those special ladies the way they deserve. Compliments of Barefoot Wine, Hennessy, Heineken, Tropical Rhythm, Enet, Always, Pro Graphics, Caviar Coley, 94.1 Boom FM, Moet, and Fireside Grill and Chill.
Ice the cocoa tea is the sugar, and together we are complete, darling.
Please drink responsibly.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
A senior teacher attached to the Alexander Village Nursery School is now contemplating her next move after an early morning fire destroyed her Cummings Street, Georgetown home while damaging a nearby building. The teacher, Sandra Sandy, told News Source that she was at home with her niece this morning preparing for school when she heard neighbors shouting out her name and telling her that the building was on fire.
And I was getting ready to go to school. I heard the neighbors saying, "Sandra, fire, 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 fire." But I run to the back, I see the fire by the roof of the second room. But we couldn't go in to control anything. So I told my niece, Ayana, see, we could grab her and run. Because we couldn't out it at all.
The teacher and her niece were only able to save a few important documents. The fire reportedly started in the teacher's bedroom. However, she could not say what could have possibly caused the devastating blaze. She explained that when she was alerted to the fire, she was in another section of the house in the upper flat of the two-story wooden and concrete building.
Nothing, because I usually turn off my turn off the fan before I go. As soon as I come out of the bed, I turn off the fan. That's it.
That's your room. Oh, so you weren't in there at the time?
We had no iron, no nothing. Nothing electrical was on.
While the Guyana Fire Service responded to the blaze and managed to extinguish the fire, preventing it from destroying other buildings, Miss Sandy said had the fire tenders arrived much earlier, her home could have been saved.
To be truthful, if they could have come a little earlier, we could have saved a lot of things.
How long it took to get here and what they came with?
They came fully loaded, I must say. Yeah, they came fully loaded, yeah.
She estimates her losses to be in the millions of dollars. She explained that her adult niece is currently building her own home and had purchased a number of household articles to move into that home. All of those items were destroyed in the blaze. Miss Sandy said she lived at the premises for over 20 years. She said anyone interested in offering her assistance could contact her on telephone number 660-0440. The site of a neighboring building, which houses the Julian's guest house and restaurant, was partially damaged by the fire. Tonight, the Guyana Fire Service is continuing its investigations. The Public Utilities Commission has indicated that there will be no penalties for the state-owned Guyana Power and Light Company, GPL, despite the company falling short of its performance target last year. The Commission has published its 35th annual report and has concluded that GPL has seen significant progress in recent times, but it still failed to reach its performance target. In the report, the chairman of the PUC, Dr. Nanda Gopal, said, in keeping with its mandate, the Commission conducted its annual review of the operating standards and performance targets for GPL for the year 2024 on the 13th of March, 2025. The review was held by way of a public hearing, attended by key stakeholders and members of the media. He said while it was concluded that GPL did not attain the majority of its performance targets, after careful consideration, the Commission determined that no penalties would be imposed. The factors that led to the Commission's decision included recurring damage to infrastructure caused by vehicular and equipment incidents, global software system updates, and electricity theft, which impacted the company's performance during the year. Notwithstanding those circumstances, the Commission emphasized that improved compliance remained an expectation, and GPL was required to continue to strengthen its operational performance. The Commission further noted that the company's transformative agenda to modernize its infrastructure and improve service reliability for consumers includes the construction of new substations and upgrading existing infrastructure, clean energy initiatives, and the implementation of advanced technology solutions. The Commission also highlighted that in 2025, GPL recorded 86 customer interruptions, one above the target of 85. The PUC described the performance as commendable when compared to 2024, when there were 126 interruptions. At the 2025 PUC public hearing, GPL explained that feeder trips, accidents involving construction equipment, and vehicles coming into contact with transmission lines are the main causes for the interruptions. Although a great improvement, this index remained far above the acceptable values for a modern developing country, the Commission said. For the reporting year 2025, the PUC said GPL recorded system losses of 25.43% compared to a target of 22.43%, which was above the standard. And this indicated that the company was unable to meet its loss reduction target for the year when compared to the 2024 losses, which stood at 24.71%. Faced with a growing garbage disposal problem in several parts of the country, the government is moving to update and operationalize both the Environmental Protection Act and the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act to include jail time and community service for littering, Attorney General Anil Nandlal has announced. On his weekly Issues in the News program, Mr. Nandlal said the 2013 Environmental Protection Act has a number of regulations that were never operationalized. Those regulations, he explained, set out a detailed regime dealing with littering and creating offenses in relation to littering, as well as stabilizing an enforcement framework that is comprehensive. Mr. Nadlal noted that the government will now be bringing some of those provisions into force that provide a range of measures that are already in the law.
So it deals with littering in a public place, littering in relation to motor vehicles, and it speaks to a system of fines. It deals with littering from a motor vehicle in motion. It speaks about owners of public transportation to provide receptacles for litter. It creates a series of offense for persons littering on private and public premises. Significantly, it imposes upon the local authorities a series of responsibilities and power to enforce laws and regulations, these regulations in particular, in relation to littering.
The Attorney General said the framework will be comprehensively reviewed, updated, and implemented.
We will also review the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act and amend that legislation to expand the scope in relation to littering and to put new offenses in place, to increase the penalties, and importantly, to add imprisonment for repeated offenders, as well as add community service, which will include cleaning garbage.
In the same Environmental Protection Act, Mr. Nadlal noted that there are a set of regulations that deal with noise pollution that were never enforced, and those too will be fully enforced. Linden Town Week 2026 has just gotten bigger. Join Go Mosley Entertainment on Thursday, the 30th of April at the Retrieve Hard Court in Linden for Big Woman Still Gotcha Things, the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. And for the first time in Linden, live on stage, the Queen of Soca, Alison Hines. Plus 3 one-man bands and the one-woman band. Advance tickets are $5,000. Get your tickets at World Access Top-Up Shop on Republic Avenue, Mackenzie, Barnes Taxi in Mackenzie, Shemane's Bar in the Mackenzie Market, R&T Clothing World in the Mackenzie Market, Shabba Hardware at 1 Mile Wisma, and Go Mosley Radio on Church Street in Georgetown. The Linden Town Week Big People Party 2026 with Alison Hines. Compliments of Banks Beer, XM Rums, GT Beer, drink responsibly, One Communications, Church's Chicken, Sheriff Security, 592T's, Star Party Rentals, Fireside Grill, and Go Mosley Radio.
Kick off this summer in style with Pink and Bougie. Experience the Eldorado Pink and Bougie Soca Brunch Gala on June 21st at Ivory on the Park Rooftop, Brooklyn, New York. Tickets are $75 each and include an all-you-can-eat premium buffet, plus a live performance by Denise Belfort. Music by DJ Messi from Trinidad and Tobago, J Neville, DJ Energy, DJ Roddy, and DJ Princess Chow. Get your tickets now from Eventbrite or Caribbean Bites Restaurant, 488 East 98th Street, Brooklyn. Vibing from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. on June 21st at the Eldorado Pink and Bougie Soca Brunch. Good food, great music, and unforgettable energy. Dress pink on Bougie. This is where summer begins.
Welcome to Church's New Amsterdam.
20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love. Guyana, the love keeps growing, and we thankful for the support you are showing. There's so many locations and much more to come. It's gratitude and celebration. Can you feel the love? 20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love.
Guyana, up your cash. Over 100 winners. More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis flavored water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling flavored water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today!
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future.
Feel spice power in every sip.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Muslim groups across Trinidad and Tobago met in an emergency session Tuesday to discuss government's decision to officially designate 3 organizations, Hezbollah, Hamas, and Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, as terrorist entities. The decision has not only triggered a major legal and financial response under Trinidad and Tobago's Anti-Terrorism Act, but also placed Muslim bodies locally in a bind, as it could also affect funding to their organizations locally. Individuals who were part of the meeting revealed that the Shia Muslim community in Trinidad and Tobago is made up of multiple independent organizations and centers, rather than a single unified body, hence the reason for Tuesday's meeting to discuss the development. Sources told Guardian Media that discussions centered on the implications of the government's position in Iran and the designation of the IRGC and wider geopolitical fallout. The U.S. has eased sanctions imposed on Venezuela's central bank in the latest sign of improving relations between the Trump administration and the interim Venezuelan government led by Delcy Rodriguez. The move comes just over 3 months after U.S. military forces seized Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in a raid in the capital, Caracas, and took him to New York to stand trial on drug trafficking charges. The U.S. Treasury Department issued a license authorizing commercial links with the Venezuelan state-run central bank and a number of other major state-run Venezuelan financial institutions. It means that they will be able to legally use U.S. dollars and re-enter the global financial market. The sanctions, which had been in place since 2019, had made it very hard for the affected banks to process and move money in the international financial system. It could also pave the way for the revenue generated by the sale of Venezuelan oil to the U.S. to reach Venezuela. The change was announced by the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, in a statement on Tuesday. And finally tonight, international news. The Iranian military has threatened shipping in the Gulf, the Red Sea, and the Gulf of Oman if the U.S. naval blockade continues, according to the BBC. A commander said if the U.S. creates insecurity for Iran's commercial vessels and oil tankers, Iran will not allow any exports or imports to continue in the three major waterways. The U.S. blockade of Iranian ports began on Monday. The American military said on Tuesday that no vessels had made it through the first 24 hours. However, according to tracking data, at least one ship was forced to turn around. Donald Trump has insisted that he will permanently open the Strait of Hormuz, claiming he's doing it for the world. Meanwhile, a senior U.S. official told the BBC talks on extending the ceasefire with Iran are ongoing. An Iranian spokesman says an exchange of messages is continuing about possible talks. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.